Look, I represent the game in a way that can't be challenged, and delegate the comments of hate that can't be managed. I was told once, roll my shoulder like blunts and don't get touched, but my skin tough and thicker than Miss Biz butt. So guess what? I'ma talk my shit and just win once. Throw uppercuts and bone breakers, a needle and haystack with haymakers. I throw mines, don't hide behind my straight right. I show mine and show no the blow by the blow, bro. I blow mines.
You out, sucker.
Yes, up off. Y'all know what day it is, huh? Y'all know what day it is. It's Taco Tuesday. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look at who we have here. Jason Lee, what's going on with you? Moink. What's going on with you? All right, man. First, I want to say this. I know you guys read the title, so Okay, look. Let's make sure. Can you guys see me crystal clear? I know we had some technical difficulties at the start for the last couple days. And that's the black. Okay, let's talk. First, I want to say this. Don't thank you so much. Don't get it confused. All right? I'm not going to say at any point that Bivol is siding with the Russian invasion. I'm not saying that he's pro-Russian invasion. Let me tell you this. I just want to say that first before y'all go, and people still going to go, because there's not enough people in here right now. So everybody hit the like button. Close out the chat, hit the like, get everybody in here. Let's get the algorithm going. I want to say this. I got a long-ass email from somebody. Forgot your name. I'm sorry. I get a lot of emails. And I was going through my emails over the last couple of days. So many ShowBizz advices, I'm like, hold on. Let me take a break. But I got this long-ass email. And they said, ShowBizz, pretty much. Do you think Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol was idiotic because of what's going on politically with Russian invading Ukraine? Was it horrible timing? And what I want to say to that is this. When you think of Bivol, who is not so well known, okay? His name, not everybody who hear his name could even put a face on his name. Not so many casuals have even seen him fight. If you are a promoter, you can't think of a more perfect time. If you are a promoter, you can't think of a more perfect time. to have Canelo versus Bivol. What do you guys think? Make sure you hit the like button for brother.
Hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up. Hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up. Hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up. Hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up. Hit the like, get those.
Sorry, Biz, disagree. In this cancel culture, it doesn't work. Yeah, you're right. Okay, cancel culture. Let me tell you a little something about cancel culture. When Jack Johnson fought Jim Jeffries, people died all around America. You can't get more cancel culture than that. I told you guys before. When you look at Jack Johnson's corner, there were white trainers and white managers who helped promote this. Jack Johnson versus Jim Jeffries was considered the fight of the century on the 4th of July. They knew exactly what they were promoting. They knew exactly what they were doing. White gladiator versus black gladiator. The great white hope. They knew exactly how to. You want to talk about cancel culture? There hasn't been too many riots greater than the riots following that fight. You can't get more canceled than that. Hold on 1 second. For the community, ShowBizz Best Boxing Channel. Hit the Tyson bell. Hold on real quick. What about the Syrian invasion, Israel's apartheid on Palestinian funded by Americans invasion on Iraq that killed up to millions of civilians? Now all of a sudden people care because they white. I have no, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that at all. Let me see. Thank you so much. Hit the Tyson bell. That's a whole nother conversation that's going to derail. You need to start a channel where we're just talking about white and black issues. Okay, go there. All right. But what I'm talking about is the impact on certain fights. All right. So what you're talking about, show me the fight where we could talk about how that was, how people perverted that issue, how people exploited that issue towards a fight. Okay. So we're talking about fights and how certain political issues was exploited to make that fight bigger. All right. So let's stay on task. Hold on. Let me see. 51st anniversary of the fight of the century. Frazier versus Ali won. Rest in eternal peace, my hero, Smoking Joe Frazier. I got to shake his hand as a kid. Did you? Hit the Tyson bell. Amazing. Let's go here. Joe Gans versus Battling Nelson. Once again, exploiting the black and white divide. Larry Holmes versus Cooney. Once again, exploiting the black and white divide, the political atmosphere for that fight. Okay? Let's go a little bit further. Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, exploiting that political issue with Panama and the sanctions that America had on Panama. The governments were not best of friends at that time. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Duran, exploiting that issue. And we all know Joe Louis versus Max Schmeling. Hit the Tyson bell. And now we have Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. I'm not saying that is full of integrity. I'm not saying it's morally correct. I'm saying if you are a promoter, there's no perfect time, more perfect time than now. This fight more based on Canelo than Bivol. I understand that. Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Let me ask you this. When they promote this fight and they bring up Bivol's name, you got to find out, the casuals got to know who Canelo Alvarez is fighting in Bivol. Do you think they're going to say Russia at all? I think they will. In the lead up of this fight, they're already asking him what he feels about what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. I'm not saying that Bivol is all for the invasion. He's actually saying the opposite. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a promoter, this may be the most perfect time for Bivol versus Canelo. I agree. Real life Rocky movie. ShowBizz, I get the point you're making. That's right. If you're going to have Canelo versus Bivol as a big fight, there's no more perfect time than now. Everybody, please make sure you go by showbizadult.com. Wink for the link. How many of you guys get to the bag last weekend? Okay, so we gave you guys some giveaways. How many of you guys get to the bag? I know I did. As soon as they say "bruh," eyes on Bivol. Exactly. Let me see what you have to say. Yes, it's good for promoters to use current events to draw attention to the fight. Good marketing. You would have to. Now, here's the thing. Hold up. How about this? I want to hear what you guys got to say. I think so. Any publicity is good publicity. Bad breath is better than not breathing at all. And that's the black two sugars. I don't like Bivol being seen as the Russian enemy, but it may just happen. Let me tell you a little something about this, and let me keep this up for everybody who shows up late to know what I'm speaking to. Other than Duran versus Leonard and battling Nelson versus Joe Gans, which fight ended with Nelson hitting Joe Gans very low, disqualification. Actually, that fight was so rigged that Joe Gans had to weigh in moments before the fight wearing his boxing equipment, and he still had to make weight. That's how terrible that was, okay? But we all know the political environment at the time. But other than those two fights, it was all exploitation more than how the fighters felt. Jerry Cooney said he would have never beaten Larry Holmes. Jerry Cooney knew. Cooney said, I would have never beaten Larry Holmes. But that's not how the fight was promoted. That's not how the fight was. That fight was the biggest fight up until that point. All because of exploiting the race, the two different races in the ring. When they said that Jack Johnson cheated and that's the only way he beat Jim Jeffries said, hell no, he didn't cheat. Jim Jeffries said, I lost fair and square. He told that to the white public. I lost fair and square. Jim Jeffries stood there and said, not only did he say that, he said, I would have never beaten Jack Johnson, not even in my prime. Max Schmeling. Not only was Max Schmeling not pro Adolf Hitler, we all know, if you don't know, I told you guys before, he helped two Jews escape the Holocaust. Max Schmeling. On top of that, him and Joe Louis were the best of friends. When Joe Louis died in 1981, Max Schmeling helped pay for his funeral. Huh? And that's the Taco Tuesday. So we're not saying that Bivol is pro the invasion. We're just saying there's some money to make off of this worldwide. Eyes would be on it. Eyes would be on this. If promoted correctly, this can be one of the more impactful fights because of the political atmosphere. If promoted correctly, this fight can be the biggest fight of the year by far. And that's the black two sugars. I do eat tacos on Taco Tuesday. I just want to see the fight. Yeah, I know, but that's not what we're talking about. ShowBizz, better than ESPN for boxing news. Everybody, if you can, give it up for the Varnell Hill box.
Bring on lips with a laugh under the cabbage patch. Choose a pretty lady and then sign some autographs. The Varnell man can shaboing boing.
And here's the funny thing. Not ha 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 funny, but here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Let's not involve politics to build a narrative. So that has to be one of the dumbest things I heard in response to what we're talking about right now. So let me hit you with it. That comment was dumb. We are talking the reality of history in boxing as far as the most significant fights ever. And all of them were significant and impactful based on the political environment at the time. You want us to ignore that. If I do that, if I ignore that, brother, then I cannot be genuine in expressing how this fight at this time, how big this fight is. I can lie to you. Thank you so much for being a member. Bye. Let me see. Super sticker. Thank you so much. Tyson Bell. Everything is politics. Let me tell you, when it comes to boxing, when there is a political situation at hand, boxing has always used that as a marketing tool. And I gave you guys many examples. I don't just talk out my ass here. And when my man said narrative, what narrative? We're just talking about the facts here. When I was asked, ShowBizz, do you think this is bad timing? I'm saying I can't think of a more better time for Canelo versus Bivol as far as marketing goes. Canelo versus Bivol, as far as marketing goes, you have to be an idiot to think that this isn't the best time you can have Canelo versus Bivol. My man. Oh, BK, Rocky versus Drago. Right? ShowBizz, thank you for lacing my boxing gloves. It's Tyson Bell. Here's another thing. If you notice in my biz, bias for Black Pack will beat your nobody knows what you're talking about. So since you're an idiot, we're gonna have to hit you.
Make me happy. Dude, you're a genius.
Your sentence structure was bad and your point was mute. What else we got? Chick, thank you so much. Perfect timing for promotion. Yep, I guarantee Bivol will be booed exactly when he enters the ring. And he shouldn't be, but he will be. Simply because he's Russian, not because he's pro-Putin. Exactly. That's a man who's just thinking. Just thinking. Just thinking. Now, when we talk about Canelo Alvarez, in that thumbnail, I have Canelo Alvarez with the American flag behind him. Do you guys know why I did that? Let's see what y'all got to say. And what the F is Black Pack? He's too dumb. He doesn't know. What is Black Pack? I'm telling you, he doesn't know. His brain is really is mush. Let me see. Love Canelo, but Bivol got this one. Okay. Let me see. Canelo has to play his part by wearing Ukrainian colors, while Bivol does could be. Let me see. You have to put it in subtitles, Biz. Some folks are slow. 100%. Biz, apologize, but don't mix politics to boxing. So many talents out there. You have no idea what I'm saying, and don't tell me what to do. Actually, just leave. Just leave. What else we got? Biggest star in America. Exactly. Here's another thing. Canelo Alvarez hasn't fought in Mexico since 2011, since he fought Kermit Cintron. What did Don King say? Only in America. I know he wants to fight in Mexico soon, but he hasn't fought him. That was Mexico City the last time he fought, and that was Kermit Cintron in 2011. Now, let me tell you something about this. What I'm talking about right now in this on this Taco Tuesday. It has given me the opportunity to bring up some great historic facts. A lot of people just learned something when I was talking about Joe Gans versus Valley Nelson. Learned something when I'm talking about Max Schmeling paying for Joe Lewis's funeral back in 1981. There's huge opportunities to learn, right? Hit the Tyson bell. And I'm not siding with anything. I'm talking about how this fight may just be the biggest fight in a year because of the timing. When you talk business, what do people say? Location, location, location. Well, that's how it is with boxing. Location and timing. Let me see. Perfect timing. I'm a little late, but is your argument for Canelo versus Bivol will be viewed as America versus Russia? No. I'm just saying that Bivol is Russian during a Russian invasion of Ukraine, where Ukraine is where Ukraine is being seen as a friend and Russia is being seen as an enemy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying America versus Russia. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying Canelo is the biggest star in boxing. So this is the biggest stage that boxing could give. If Canelo's on the stage, it's the biggest stage that's provided. And guess who he's looking at? A Russian fighter. You cannot, that's it. That's it. I'm not saying anything more than that. And that's the Taco Tuesday. For the community, much love to you. Hit the Tyson bit. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why. I think my camera's flickering or something like that. I hope you guys can tolerate it. Let me see. I hear your point, Biz. That's why it would be great for George to fight Loma too. Exactly. Now look. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. Let's hear what the promoters with the managers, let's hear what Espinoza, let's hear what Eddie Hearn has to say about this whole Charlo thing and Bivol thing and which one is bigger.
But at least domestically, here, Latin America, North America, I think the Charlo fight was a bigger fight.
Well, Charlo has looked absolutely dreadful in his recent fights. You cannot compare the challenge of a middleweight like Jamal Charlo.
What did he say?
Like Jamal Charlo.
What your ass say?
Like Jamal Charlo.
What'd he say?
Like Jamal Charlo.
I'm 154. I ain't the one. I would never turn down no motherfucking Canelo. Y'all know what it is. I ain't never turning my money down.
Like Jamal Charlo.
She said, I said the top fruit.
That's had no standout victories at all and hasn't looked good in any recent fights to a big, strong, unbeaten light heavyweight world champion in Dimitri Bivol.
In terms of legacy, I think in terms of the fan appeal, in terms of the excitement, the styles, I think the Charlo fight is, the most exciting, the most probably desirable fight, and probably the most lucrative fight, and probably the biggest event that is possible at this point. So,
look, I want to say this. Eddie Hearn has to get Jamal Jamel together. This is, I've been seeing him make that mistake forever. Somebody got to break it down for him. Who Jamal is and who Jamel is. He's been calling them both Jamel forever. Let me see. I got you, Biz. Looking forward to hear the rest of the show. Good. Absolutely. Hit the Tyson bell. But on top of that, I do agree with Espinoza. I've been saying this. Jamal Charlo, that David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo package, by the way, I said was the sexier package. I've been saying that. But here's the thing. That was before the political environment flipped upside down. Now, Bivol, who is the more dangerous fighter than Jamal Charlo for Canelo, because, you know, weight class higher, you know, up at 175, Jamal Charlo coming from 160, all those things. They both can box, both champions. Jamal Charlo won't be champion at 168, but he was a champion at 160, WBC champion, all those things, okay? But what Bivol has is that X factor of the political environment. If promoted right, this would be the biggest fight of the year. Yeah, we all know about the 3-fight deal, right? We know that there's a third fight, right? It's either John Ryder, Makabu, or Bubu Andre. All right. Now, Eddie Reynoso is still talking about Makabu, but it's hard to tell me about a 3-fight deal when I'm the one who broke the news. All right. Let me see. Bivol comes out with a Ukrainian flag biz. That'd be crazy. Now, he wouldn't want to do that because the fear for Putin is real. He wouldn't want to do that. Let me see. I'm kind of slow, but can you be clear on what you're trying to say? I said it. I said it already. Curious Jorge. I mean, to keep saying it's not even what I'm trying to say. I said it, and everybody else know exactly what I'm saying. Everybody, do you guys know what I'm saying? Hey, look, let's give it up for my man Sully. Where you at? And if you haven't done it, hit the like for me for the one time. James West to the Tyson Bale. If you haven't done it, everybody, please hit the like for a brother for the one time on this taco.
Hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, get those.
Okay. Here, let me hit you guys with a few more receipts. You know, I have to play that receipt intro. Receipts, motherfucker! Hit the Cabbage Patch. Mr. Biz, I understand what you are saying. Okay, but don't you think that could be dangerous for Bivol? People can't separate sport promotion and a real thing. Let me say this again, because I'm not sure if you was here since the very beginning. Max Schmeling saved 2 Jews from the Holocaust, and he helped pay for Joe Lewis's funeral. Him and Joe Lewis was the best of buds, but Max Schmeling never even had the opportunity once he became the #1 contender to fight James Braddock. Why? Like you said, because of how people saw Max Schmeling. Perception became reality. The reality is he wasn't pro Adolf Hitler at all. Right? Jim Jeffries. They thought Jim Jeffries was going to hate Jack Johnson when Jim Jeffries said, I would have never beaten Jack Johnson. Cooney, I would have never beaten Larry Holmes. So what I'm saying is I'm bringing up other impactful. I had this whole argument already. I'm not sure if you heard it, but I brought up other impactful boxing events where the exploitation and the perception was far different than the reality, because the political atmosphere put a tag on that fight. It advertised the fight by its damn self. No matter, just like they said, just like Chick said, Bivol is going to get booed regardless. Casual fans don't follow the sport like that. They don't know how Bivol feels. They don't care. He's going to come out, he's Russian, and they're going to boo. Fighting, period, right now is what it is. When you said dangerous, it's dangerous already. It's a wrap. You don't have to remind people that Bivol's Russian. They know. It's a wrap. Once this fight starts getting promoted and start getting pushed and moved, it's on, bro. It's on. James West, 100. You didn't have to keep saying that Jim Jeffries was a white man and Jack Johnson was black in a very sensitive political environment. All you need to do is eyeball them. if you got eyes. Here, let me show you guys a few more receipts here. Look at where Roman Gonzalez is right after beating Julio Cesar Martinez. Look where he ended up. Back in the gym. Let's look at, here's some more receipts. We're 30 minutes in. Let's look at Canelo Alvarez, how beastly he gets, and how being a warrior and how boxing just lights his pilot. That guy's a wild man. Let me see. Somebody says something right here. ShowBizz, you think sports bring country together just for one night? Yes, there's an opportunity here. If after the fight between Canelo and Bivol, if they hug each other after the fight, Canelo has an opportunity. And if we could change. Hold on. Wait a second. Something exfoliated. Okay. Everything looking good? All right. So yeah, Canelo Alvarez has an opportunity to pull his Rocky. So if I could change and he could change, everybody could change. I guess it's better for 2 people to fight than 20 million. What'd he say? So yeah, absolutely. There's an opportunity. Let me see. What else we got? There were a few comments. Let me see. Almost sound like boxing match had. Why you disrespecting Canelo by putting an American flag behind him? He's a proud Mexican. Okay. One, I want to say this to you. Are you still here? Maniacs, whatever. I want to say this to you. Number one, stop being offended by everything. I know this is the I'm soft culture. I'm offended. 2, you came in too late because I explained the thumbnail already. The reason I put the American flag behind Canelo is because I asked everybody, when's the last time Canelo fought in Mexico? 11 years ago, 2011. It's been a long time. He's been fighting in the States. Hit the tight spell. That's all I was saying. And I don't think, no matter how you feel, I don't think Canelo hates America. Let me see. What else we got? Bivol is Russian Korean. He is not a politician. He is a good fella and a sportsman. I really hope he beats Canelo. Once again, y'all not listening. And I said that at the very beginning. So if y'all going to come in late, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. If y'all can't hear, I don't know what to tell you. All right. What else we got? Super sticker. Thank you so much. Tyson Bell. Everybody can change. What else we got? I'm starting to see what you're saying. Yeah, all the outside factors for the fight is going to increase the publicity. This could make history. Exactly. I think people are so sensitive, they don't know how to just chill and hear a brother out. What I'm saying. I'm ready to get offended. What side you on, ShowBizz? And racism and chill. Y'all should know me already. Y'all should know me already. I'm coming from an analytical point of view, a business perspective on the reality of how big this fight can be. I'm not saying my political view. I'm not saying what yours should be. I'm not saying that Bivol's the bad guy. Hell, I'm not saying Canelo's the good guy. But y'all are so busy hoping to be offended that y'all can't hear the basics. I ain't saying shit. But just the political environment and how bad breath is better than not breathing at all, how that can be the engine promoting the fight by itself. Now, a lot of people who have the confidence, insecurity in themselves, like alphas, can just hear me out and be like, oh, yeah, okay. Instead of putting words in my mouth. Chill. Don't try to shoot off your rebuttal before you hear what my argument even is. All right, let's see. Nello was like, stop beating up my friend. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You talking about the Chocolatito? So let's keep going. What else do we have? Listen to David Benavidez. Many people talk about how David Benavidez, how Canelo Alvarez is ducking David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a monster. All those things. Listen to what David Benavidez, how he feels about Canelo Alvarez.
You may run into Canelo tonight. If you see him, would you say anything to him?
I mean, I would just congratulate him on the great champion he is. I have nothing against him, you know, and I'm trying to go at him because I look up to him. You know, he's a great champion, and that's what I'm trying to be in the future too. So I'm not. It's no bad blood. It's not like Charlo or nothing. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Like I have no bad blood against him. You know, I congratulate him, and that's all.
And that's the Taco Tuesday. Hey, what happens if you see Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez? What happens? David Benavidez was like, I look up to him. I look up to him, which is why I keep saying David Benavidez has matured. Now, he said he don't like Charlo. There's bad blood. Let me tell you why I didn't like David Benavidez. Booger sugar, missing weight over and over again, and what he said about Caleb Plant's daughter, who is deceased. That's unforgivable. But I still think he's maturing. He said, I admire what he's doing. I look up to what he's doing. And I want to fight him because of that. What did Keith one time Thurman say? He admired Floyd. That's why I want to fight him. Errol Spence talking about Manny Pacquiao. He's an all-time legend, man. Yeah, I want to fight him. I look up to him. Right? Larry Holmes against Muhammad Ali. Sugar Ray Robinson against Henry Armstrong. They all said they looked up to him. Hell, even Tyson Fury and Klitschko. Tyson Fury, when he was an amateur, said, man, I can't wait to fight him. That's how I know how great I am. These warriors think differently than us couch potatoes. Let me see. Did you see Devin Haney keep the same energy about drug cheat when he saw Canelo? Yeah. You're talking about him talking about that everybody's a drug sheet over there. And then he pulled one of these numbers. You can't be that pissed off. You can't be that spiteful, can you? But my thing is this, though. I think Canelo Alvarez wanted a picture with him. Right? But let me go a little bit further. When I showed you this receipt, Eddie Hearn is sitting between Canelo and... You see Devin Haney on the other side? They all sitting together, bro. Devin Haney's on the other side. They all sitting together. What else you got? How you feel about the narrative in some circles that a lot Canelo's opponents were hyped to be better than they actually were? All love from Philly. Well, that's the thing. David Benavidez, when David Benavidez say, I think he said something about Canelo only fighting for business, only fighting for money. He ain't fighting the best. The problem is the best fighter David Benavidez fought was Darrell. Charlo fought Montiel his last fight. So everybody's hyped up if they're just waiting in that long ass line for Canelo. As Canelo get more and more practice, getting better and better and better, fighting everybody, fighting 7 times in 2 years. Ridiculous. Everybody is hyped up. Everybody that Canelo can be fighting would be hyped up at this point. Look, I want to say this too. Everybody, please go buy ShowBizTheAdult.com. Thank you so much. All of us and Bivol know he better not wear that flag. Well, I don't think he can. LOL, but that's hilarious. BK, I want to say this, bro. There is a certain gift that I'm trying to give you, right? So I'm still looking high and low for it. I could have gotten you just anything autographed by Tyson Gypsy King Fury, but there's a certain thing that I'm looking for. Let me see. Speaking facts. Yeah, absolutely. What else we got? Now, if you guys don't mind, let me give you guys the receipts on Jermell Charlo talking mad shit.
They have a manager who's a trickster, a very, very big trickster. He the same guy that tried to play the Madonna trick on Floyd Mayweather. The same guy that came to the commissioners before I fought Castano and said, hey, your gloves are wrong. But let me tell you, he was highly intoxicated. They barely could keep him under control. They got him under control. And your Crawford, my dog live in Omaha. I know how Omaha roll. Y'all ain't never seen no real shit like this shit here. How about he do his best and go fight Earl Spence then? Shut up, take a little bit less money, be quiet, humble yourself, and fight Earl Spence, he a stud. Do what he say, and then you might be the challenger sometimes. Bob Arum don't give a damn about him. Bob Arum told him to his face he done got lawsuits with his own promoter. You ain't worth shit to me, for real.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You got Ennis, you got Garcia, you got Thurman, you got people making a name for themselves in your own weight division. Sit your ass in your weight division and see if you can beat one of them. Cause fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. Cause fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. You gonna get knocked the fuck out.
You got knocked up.
You got knocked up. You got knocked the
You got knocked up.
Fuck out.
fuck out.
Fuck out. Fuck out, man.
I'm a knockout artist, baby.
Good night. Brother, Jermell Charlo is my guy, dog. For Errol Spence, he's a stud. Be a challenger sometimes. And who is he looking at? You. Somebody was over there. I don't know who it was, but somebody he doesn't like was over there. And he said, you better sit your little ass coming up here. You're going to get knocked out. I'm a knockout artist. And to that, we want to bring your friend and mine, the OG Old Gray, see what he has to say.
Well, to Jermell Charlo, I want to say this. Congratulations. You're clinically insane. Which is a great characteristic to becoming a great fighter. And as for Crawford. Look, kid, moving up to 154, calling out Jamel Charlo, you're doing the right thing, kid. When Evander, the real deal Holyfield, was waiting for Tyson, knocked out Buster Douglas, beat the hell out of George Foreman, whooped on Bert Cooper, all those things, kid. Looking back in the history books, if Smith versus Crawford doesn't happen, well, no one's going to blame Bud. Especially if you fight Jamel Charlo.
And that's the black two shoulders. Let me see what you have to say. Roman wants to go up to 118 and fight Naoya Inoue. That's great. I like to see him against Estrada for the third time. Thoughts? Either one is fine. It's just like Terrence Bud Crawford. I want to see Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol the True Spence. And just like what the OG Old Gray said, if he goes up to 154 and fight Jamel Charlo, who's mad at that? Ain't nobody mad at that, bro. Let me see. Let's see what Adrian. Well, yo, Adrian. Good morning, ShowBizz and the family. How y'all doing? The craziest thing about Canelo is that he's on a crazy win streak. He hasn't lost since Floyd. Which was I think 2013, 2014. That's a long time. I shouldn't have left. Yeah, he's on a crazy winning streak. And look, Ron Charlo didn't fight Castaño. Ron Charlo didn't. I know what. Y'all must be talking amongst each other because that was weird. Oh, wait, and I want to let you guys know that. And those my friends, where we at? Where the receipts? Receipts, motherfucker! Now, the thing is, Triple G beat him. Well, he officially didn't, so there's nothing to say. It's just like everybody who says that Floyd Mayweather is 48-2. Well, he's not, though. He's 50-0. You know, I think Triple G really won the fight, but it doesn't matter what I think because officially it was a draw. And there's nothing else you can really say, okay? And when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and his win streak, I do want to say this. I don't think I'm going to stand on this, that Bivol will have to knock out Canelo. I'm gonna go further. If Bivol doesn't get knocked down and he wins, people are gonna say it's a robbery, no matter how the fight goes. It's both. Bivol has to knock out Canelo to win. But for the people to think that Canelo won, if Bivol survives without being knocked down, it's going to be a robbery. That's how people are going to feel. That's going to be a perception. Everybody going to say Bivol won. All he needs to do is last. If he lasts, the people going to say Bivol won. Here's the thing. Facts. Yeah. Here's the thing. It is a shame that you have to knock out Canelo to beat him. That's the perception. But also, you can't blame the fighters because it's also a shame that Canelo got to drop or knock out every opponent he fights. Because he knows his damn self. If it goes the distance, the perception is he lost. What about Callum Smith? But see, here's the thing. Yeah, that was one-sided. But the hate for Canelo Alvarez has increased since Callum Smith. The hate for Canelo Alvarez has jumped up since Callum Smith. He's too successful. Now he's too successful. He's become undisputed. Everybody is like, man, he's one of the greatest ever done it. After Callum Smith, the hate, the disdain for Canelo is amazing. He has become too successful. So it's both. It's both. People are angry at Canelo, not for no reason at all. They have their reasons. At the same time, though, you can't blame the fighters. And the fighters are going to be the ones who pay. That's the Taco Tuesday, and that's the Black Two Sugars. That's the Taco Tuesday, and that's the Black Two Sugars. The haters. Let me tell you something, bro. There's more hate than love these days. This is social media. This is the internet. Everybody at the beginning of this live stream, at the beginning of this podcast, everybody was trying to jump to be offended. I hopped over those laser beams, and I was just sticking to the point. People are looking to be offended. Looking to be offended. There's more hate than love these days. People can't listen. They're so busy trying to type. When you say the haters, that's everybody. There's more hate than love these days, bro. Why? Because you can be heard. And love doesn't ring louder than hate. So people have learned how to hate to be heard. That's why it's amazing that this channel grew to the levels that we've grown. We're goofy, wearing taco hats, we're laughing and giggling, and somehow joking, coming with skits, and somehow we grew. Let me see. The only one who will beat Canelo by a decision is Canelo, meaning it won't be what his opponent does. It would be what Canelo doesn't do. At the same time, Julio, at the same time, Canelo is extremely good. It's not like it's hard to beat him because he's extremely good. He's one of the better fighters in the world. He's one of the better fighters of all time. That guy can fight. Let's not undermine that fact. Canelo can fight. This is what I want to say about Jermell Charlo real quick that I failed to say. People need to start talking about Jermell, man. People got to start talking about Jermell, and I'm talking about Jermell more than Tank Davis. Why? Jermell is doing more than Tank Davis. Jermell's fighting, bruh. Most of Jermell's anger comes from a fight that's coming up. Jermell is passionate. He's a warrior, knockout artist, and a violent fighter. I don't know what else you want. Because of Canelo, we talk about Jamal so much. But I like Jamal fighting style a little bit more, his technique a little bit more. But Jermell is greater. And my thing is this. If you just look at Jamal and Jermell, you shouldn't be talking about Jamal more than Jermell. But because of Canelo, you talk about Jamal. Jermell's not in the conversation, except for Eddie Hearn, who doesn't know the difference. But Jermell is not in the conversation with Canelo. He's 154. You see what happens? You see how Canelo can bring light to somebody else? Jermell should be the one spoken about. He should be spoken about in the same tones as Terrence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, all those boys. Inoue, all those boys. Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shield, all those fighters. Jermell Charlo should be spoken in that regard because all he is exciting. He fights everybody, and he takes a loss and ass whip, and he gets up, whip ass. He's on his way to undisputed. And he's angry about it. That's the Black Two Sugars. He's a real lion. I agree, Biz. 100%. Look, I want to do this too. We're going to have to go over a little bit. I apologize, but we have to go over a little bit. We got a little winded with all the things, but that's okay. Let's run through Twitter fingers. Twitter fingers. That cracks me up every time. Okay, let's see what Anthony Joshua had to say. So Hassan said when somebody tweeted to Anthony Joshua saying Tyson Fury says he's hanging up as the best to do it with a resume of Chisora and injured Klitschko, Valine, and Wilder 3 times. Anthony Joshua responded by saying, yeah, he is the best to do it. I can't disagree. Hilarious. Hit the Tyson bell. Clarissa Shields, she says, Twitter fingers too. Boxing is so sick. All these champions will so-called fight anybody but Boo Boo Andre. Been calling out all the big names forever. Excellent point, Clarissa. Let me see. Jamel is telling it like it is to Crawford and just marking his territory 100%. What do you want Jamel to say? He's like, man, get out of here. Coming up here, I'm going to knock you out. That's what you're supposed to say. Right? Terrence Crawford is seen as the best fighter in the world to a lot of people. Unlike Joe Smith, unlike Benavidez, unlike a lot of people saying, yeah, I'll fight Canelo Alvarez. Right? Canelo Alvarez coming up to your world. You're respecting the fact that he's the face of boxing. Jamel Charlo was saying something different. Come up here and I'm sleeping you. Period. Come up here and you're getting slapped. I like that attitude. Let me see. Here's what David Benavidez, Tony Harrison, the most underrated personality in boxing. I mean, he had a little light with Jamel, but here's what David Benavidez had to say about Canelo. At the end of the day, we all knew Canelo wouldn't want to fight me. He's fought his tough fights. He's a businessman now. For him, it's not fighting the best, it's business. Well, here's the challenge towards David Benavidez. Which one are you doing? Are you fighting the best or is it business? When looking at the resume, it doesn't look like you've been fighting the best. And business, missing weight and doing those things, are you making the right business move? It sounds like you can be doing neither one before you start criticizing what Canelo's doing. What I challenge David Benavidez is the things that he's challenging himself, which I like. After Lemieux fighting Boo Boo Andre or trying to fight Jamal Charlo, beautiful stuff. Another thing, David Benavidez, I wouldn't mind if he moves up and beat Canelo there. If he fights a Joe Smith, or if he fights a better BF, or if he fights a Pascal, something like that. He barely makes weight anyway. I wouldn't mind seeing him at light heavyweight. All right, let me see. Okay, and those, my friends, were the Twitter fingers. Twitter fingers. Twitter fingers. My man, go to Twitter. That's Biz Adult. You know we do our things on Twitter. Thank you so much, BK. Let me see. If Josh Taylor beats Crawford on a robbery decision, I would say Crawford got manhandled because that makes sense. I have no idea what's going on. Y'all talking about something. He'll wait. If brother, you at this point, brother, you out of there. I don't know what you guys say. Let me see. Didn't Andre duck Janabek? There's a lot of somebody ducked somebody going on. There's a lot of somebody ducked somebody going on. I think I had another thing to talk about today. Damn. My haircuts today. I think I have another thing. I think I had another thing to talk about, but let me hear what you guys got to say real quick. Benavidez will punish Canelo. We don't know. Let me see. Do you think Benavidez beats Canelo? No, but I would love to see the fight. I would love to see. I don't know for sure. Okay. That comment was dumb. Let me see what else. Yeah. Let's give it to him. I know what comment. That comment was dumb. Everyone is arguably ducking someone except Usyk. That man's fought everyone, and he's fighting Russia. So, I mean, yeah, he's literally fighting everyone. Let me see. Who beats Canelo? They all can beat Canelo. Bivol can beat Canelo. Jamal Charlo can beat Canelo. David Benavidez can beat Canelo. Benavidez can beat Canelo, right? It all depends on the preparation. It all depends on how they're fighting that night. Yeah, and how Canelo's fighting that night. All of them are talented enough to beat Canelo. Yeah, Canelo is an extremely skilled, very good fighter. All right, but what makes Canelo is what you saw when he was screaming, watching the fight. When he was screaming, watching the fight. Let me tell you this before I go. Let me tell you this. Do you think Benavidez beats Joe Smith Jr.? I don't know, because I haven't seen Benavidez against the right opponents. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you, who is your GOAT? Sugar Ray Robinson. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna end with a few things. The reason why I show Canelo Alvarez screaming, looking at the Roman Gonzalez, Julio Cesar Martinez fight, is because, and the reason why I highlighted Jermell Charlo today on this Taco Tuesday, is because when you think of the champions, the great fighters, the lineal champions and stuff like that, look at Tyson Gypsy King Fury. Many times, other fighters can't match their hunger. Hear me out. It is the perception that the fighter that is on top is not the hungry fighter, and that's not always the case. A lot of great fighters are the ones who got the pilot light burning permanently. Kobe Bryant was outworking everybody. He was in the gym hours before everybody got there. He was still there when everybody left. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, a lot of those great, Michael Jordan, would make a lot of these athletes, a lot of these people great is because they have a permanent desire, and people don't know that. They don't get it. They think the person that has nothing is always more hungry than the fighter who has everything, and that's not always the case. A lot of times, those fighters who got nothing would always have nothing because they don't have the burning desire permanently like those fighters that got everything. Jermell Charlo is looking hungrier than everybody else. Canelo Alvarez is fighting more often and more champions than everybody else. How is that? How did Floyd Money Mayweather fight more champions than everybody else? He had it all. How did he fight more champions than everybody else? No matter what you want to say about Money Mayweather, that guy was an animal when it came to training and in the ring. People say nobody trained harder than him, and this guy never took no drugs. He wasn't drinking. He wasn't flipping in cars. Floyd Money Mayweather, hard work, and he was dedicated. Anybody who tried to do the Mayweather end up screwing their careers over because they didn't realize the burning desire, how his pilot light was always lit to train harder, earlier, later than everybody else. Same thing with Canelo Alvarez. The perception is those who at the top aren't as hungry, and many times the history has shown us time and time again that those great fighters are the hungriest ones. James West, thank you so much. Bye, 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 bye. Now, look. I want to say this too. As I wear this Tyson Fury shirt, before I go, I've been getting DMs and emails about my relationship with the PBC. Ah! The PBC has not made it a secret whatsoever that they support this community and this channel. They have said on their platform. They'll come here and say it. And I've said it to them. And people are worried. ShowBizz, are you getting paid by the PBC? ShowBizz, are you going to now say things only in the favor of the PBC fighters? To that, I want to say this. And I must answer this because I have to respond to criticism. You guys got to know who you watching every day. I want to say this. I have had many relationships with many fighters, sanctioning bodies, and organizations. And I've had my fair share of fallouts because I've criticized them. The reason why I'm cool with the PBC, and I've announced how cool I am with the PBC, is because they've watched me criticize the hell out of Wilder. They watched me mock Floyd Mayweather. They've watched me, as of late, challenging the hell out of Jamal Charlo. They've watched me question Tank Davis and not be in support of Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. And it has yet hurt their feelings as I wear a Tyson Gypsy King Fury shirt. So listen, I would never bend my opinion and where I stand on this Taco Tuesday and no day after. But if you are someone who cannot be hurt, offended, or fall out with me for saying what I say, and that draws attention to our relationship, the fact that I'm going to say what I believe no matter what, then we cool. I would always be who you guys subscribe to. Thank you so much, Tim Butler. ShowBizz for Adult. Do you guys enjoy yourselves for this Taco Tuesday? You enjoy yourself? You guys enjoy yourselves? I'm out. Fantastic. All within an hour? Almost. Boy, almost made it.